If you're a fan of the symbiotic multicellular body snatchers, or maybe you're just a fan of villains in particular because, let's be honest, most products, hosts, or offspring of the organism are mostly menacing, wild, blood-tasting monsters with a thing for human blood and red meat, and don't forget the brains. Anyway, if you're one with the zeal of these creatures, then you probably know a lot about them and how they operate, especially thanks to Venom, who has given his viewers a peek into what it's like living as a symbiote and needing a host just to live. Well, in today's video, we're going to be taking a very interesting question that may have crossed your mind once or twice while diving in both the DC and Marvel universe. Could the symbiote overtake Robin? Well, we know for a fact, thanks to most popular comics starting with this intriguing demon in the body, and to the most recent Venom movie too, that doubled down on why Venom needed Eddie Brock as most of its hosts were not up for the task and would die out. We know that these creatures would definitely be picky about who they are mushing with because not everyone packs one hell of a defense system to have a literal virus feed and survive off them. One thing to note before diving into the main issue of today is that these symbiotes don't need permission to enter your body and will leave whenever they like. You can see that play out so many times, like for instance in the super popular Amazing Spider-Man movies that showed Venom taking over Spider-Man's suit with ease, and how in the recent Venom movies you can see Riot and Carnage take their host bodies without knocking on the door of the cells to ask for permission. It even gets more disturbing, as in Venom 2, the movie, you can literally see how Carnage takes full control over the host at the final and awesome battle scene, leaving its host screaming for it to not hurt his lover while being completely helpless against it. At the conclusion, it's safe to say that symbiotes are on another level of possession where they only need the host to be alive, but not functional. And keep in mind, the two main ways known to dispel them from their host is either by them willingly leave or having a blast of high-pitched sounds and frequency. Then again, you probably will anger it and have to always look over your shoulders, just in case something with large teeth and jaws is about to snag your head from its body. Anyways, now that we're done with that, what would happen if Robin was to be swapped with Eddie Brock or Peter Parker? Would the symbiote be able to snag itself a strong host? Now, looking into Robin's case, the answer may already seem pretty obvious, or rather, the answer is very dependent on the nature, time, and place before the supposed symbiote tried taking over. No matter how much it may stink, you can't deny the fact Robin is but a human who depends mostly on tech and highly advanced skills to defeat his foes. I'd then ask the question, who would win in a fight between Robin and a well-developed in possession of a host Venom? That may sound a bit unfair to you and way outmatched, but in fact, we could argue that although the odds are up against young Robin in a well-presented position, he could send Venom jumping away for his life. It's like how many would argue that a fight between Batman and Superman would be like putting a child, aka Batman, against a bull, aka Superman. But based on the movie, which seemed pretty fair since it did have Batman exploit Superman's weakness to triumph, that could be the same outcome for the battle between Robin and Venom. So what exactly am I saying? Would Robin fall prey to this symbiote's cravings for a host, or find a way to push back? Well, on a normal day, Robin would be roost, and when you look back at the most popular movies showing these symbiotes hunt down their host, they tend to be as quiet and unnoticed as a spider. Probably why Venom went after the only spider hero in New York. So yeah, just as how Venom crept up on Peter, Carnage was implanted into Cletus Cassidy, the prisoner in Venom 2. Though in exchange of blood, and well, Riot's host was a bit predetermined, don't you think? Now, we could imagine a new symbiote from whom knows where appears with Robin as a target and then creeps up on him while he sleeps and makes his way through his nostrils. Symbiote wins. He is human anyways. If maybe it was Raven, the mysterious demon princess with magic powers, I'd say she would have a better chance. Don't leave just yet. We have looked into how easily Robin could be overtaken by the symbiote. Now let's change it up to favor our human best boy, or man, which is actually a good point to take into consideration considering there have been at least 5 Robins, one being a girl. Now, the most popular and probably the most skilled Robin we could argue is Dick Grayson, and yeah, he now runs around in a skin-tight outfit claiming to be Nightwing while he fights his enemies in the air like some ballerina, but for now, he's the best suit for Robin. We could also argue that he is Batman's favorite son. Don't sue me. That would play a huge part in the outcome of this battle I'm about to deal out. Now, say Robin, aka Dick Grayson, is well aware of a manic, blood-tasty, ever-hungry virus hunting for him to make his next puppet, which makes sense since he can do a clear comparison between Nightwing and Spider-Man and see how Nightwing would make a great substitute, even more than Eddie Brock. Say he gets help from his mentor Batman, the man who used brains to take down a legit godly alien. The stage would already be laid out as a trap for our incoming symbiote. We could also imagine this symbiote has found another host, a temporarily weak one it's using to travel the distance to get to Robin. Once the target has hit the X mark, Robin pulls off his tricks and bombards the symbiote with intense sonic sounds, sending it off its feet, and adds to that, he would also rip the symbiote good with bombs, as sound and heat are 2 of the symbiote's biggest weaknesses. This is a weakness passed down to all of them, as was first conceived after Null, the legit creator of all symbiotes, smashed a Celestial's head, creating the first ever symbiote, but also unintentionally imbuing them with the weakness of sound and heat, as those were the calamity produced from the battle. Anyway, even if Robin was already overtaken by the symbiote, as we know he is but human and has no natural resistance to the takeover, following his mentor's steps, he would just set himself up with sonic blasters in a heated environment, which we know would help him break free from the symbiote. Anyway, overall, after taking all of the details given about Robin and the symbiote, if I was to answer finally the question of could Robin be overtaken by a symbiote, the obvious answer would be yes. He could, easily, especially under the ignorance of not knowing, but not without the capacity or intelligence to overcome it.